That is why we are here.
I have nothing to do with all those people. I can understand them. But I will ask, please, look inside yourself. Why does it trigger you when you see me and hear me? And with all I have to say to you, what is going on within yourself? What is being touched? Why do you come in defense? Why are you in denial? Why do you need it from your mind to burn me down? Because we are talking about that now. A small part considered it necessary. The mass does not, but a small part thinks it is necessary. What is it? What is this in yourself that you need to do this? Take a look at it, be honest with yourself. What is your agenda? Do you really want humanity to live in duality forever? Or do you want us to gather together? Because that is possible. I am already working on it. It is getting bigger and bigger. It is like a virus they cannot destroy. It is a virus of unconditional love. That is what we are spreading.
In which you do not have to prove who you are but just being you.
I am who I am, and for fun I showed you my passport, so you can watch it. You can even go to special services to check out if it is false. But hello. I am just here and I stand.
You just said you have no CV, neither from your past. You made it very clear why that is and how it is. But still, a number of questions have been raised, especially after the first interview. The questions we have received are, for example, when did Ronald work at the stock exchange, because it is nowhere to be found.
No, you cannot find much about my whole first life. Neither about my second life. I am not the type of guy being active on the internet just like the whole herd. Most people are careful with their privacy, but in the meantime, I see them sharing literally everything on the internet. The level I played on and where I come from. If you would like to investigate those circles, you actually will not find anything. We do not exist on the internet. Finally, for fun, because I was busy with a manifestation and it was needed to be found on the internet. Together with my partner, we established in 2008, the family Bly. And the funny part was, the thought behind it, was, if you are going to become one family, like little companies, entrepreneurs, individuals, you unite in one family. Then you can organize a manifestation, like I used to do in the social society with each other, from, for, and through each other. If you became a member of the family, that was our thought. Then you got the opportunity to add the adoptive name Bly, behind your own name. So, I became a member and with me many more, because you're able to find them on the internet. They had the opportunity, if they like, for example like with me, Ronald Bernard, so that became Ronald B. Bly. So that is why I created an account with a pseudonym for the social media like Facebook and LinkedIn. To have an account, to be able to host the manifestations of importance, like new organizations. Because without a private account you are not allowed to do this. So, I was, except for a very small and lost article from another project, not to be found on the internet. My wife is also not to be found on the internet, and there are many in my circles not to be found on the internet, because we do not feel the need to share our privacy and a whole private life on the internet. That is our right.
Yes.
So, there's not much about us to find. On the other hand, that is the funny part, when you see the masses on the internet. Somebody signs up or whatever, through Facebook or I don't know what, to their children, everything and all, their birth date, what they are doing day by day, the name of the child, when it is born. You got everything to know from people through the internet. That is up to them.
Publicly owned.
What is it?
We are owned by the government.
Yes, but we are very cooperative, aren't we?
Indeed.
I mean, everybody is talking about their privacy, but they throw everything out in public, but we are not like that. And we don't do that. So, you cannot find a lot about us on the internet. But back to the CV, because a curriculum is quite a theme in the Netherlands, at least in some particular circles. I would like to repeat. I corresponded with some guy. I have indicated that I do not have a CV, because my whole life I was an entrepreneur, I never needed to apply for myself. The second thing I indicated is, I will never write a CV about my first life. That makes no sense at all, because everything I should write down, are indications of the deeper layers. Because everything I did, official companies, also had a substratum. Yes? A lot of things that could not stand the light of day were played out in those deeper layers. I did not just get in the financial world by coincidence. Perhaps I did not sufficiently explore this in the first part of the interview, but you did not just get a seat automatically on the stock exchange. It is not like this, oh, we have a seat for sale. It is quite naive to think like that. So, to avoid that from that period, because we are talking about a period from 1982, I have to dig deep. 1982 until the end of 1994. So, we are talking about 12 years. In which I was very busy and active in all forms as an entrepreneur with deeper layers that did not stand the light of day. There are many interests involved from a lot of people. I will never make it known. Besides, neither I cannot, for example, the people who tortured me. Do you really think that I can make a phone call? That is also impossible, but in case of, because we all need witnesses. Do you really think they say, yes, that's right, I did this and that to him? And do you really think that people who made exchanges with me to ruin other countries will say, yes, of course we did that. We liked to do that. No. That does not work like that. There is nobody in my circles who has the feeling or the need, if they are still alive anyway, to testify about that. I can tell you something else. When I crashed down, revived to life again, the crying mother, after that I came in several private clinics for more than a year to recover. They had to deal with a professional oath, the oath of secrecy. Finally, as they saw my internal injuries, just everything what was wrong, they began to wonder what had happened. Then, yes, it still is a difficult part. You have to experience it yourself to know. It is a bit the same as living in Syria nowadays and half your family is shot to pieces. You are suffering seriously. It takes a long time to process trauma.
Yes, sure.
But, it is not real, right? Those people are bastards. But okay, I think those are really bastards. But I know, the consolation is that all strikes back.
They themselves are deficient.
Everything strikes back. Because I have no remorse, I think it is just bastards' behavior and I can understand that very well. They must listen inwardly. Because there is a lot to heal. But when it comes to recovery, the doctors asked me what had happened to me. Then I told them the truth, just like I do now. Do you know what they did? They called out for all kinds of specialists. Psychiatrists, psychologists. Everybody had to look into my mind, because this cannot be true. You are describing a movie. The Fantasist. Yes. Then finally, because they made a lot of diagnoses, I actually found it humorous. I thought, gosh, all of them are smart and intelligent scholars, professors, all of which make diagnoses, while I am just speaking the truth but no one believes me. Then I gave permission for a few loved ones from my most inner circle, trusted relationships. I gave permission to interview them. A few weeks later, I still remember the white coats with their files, entering the room, dazed. "We are sorry, Ronald. We cannot help you. Your trauma is so serious. We cannot do that." At last someone believed me. People do not know the world where I come from. Most do not.
No, which is also relatively small.
Yes. In relation to the matrix everyone lives in. It's a bit like in that movie, there were also not so many who lived outside. But they lived in reality.
The Wizard of Oz, and his tiny little friends behind the curtain.
Yes, sorry I cannot expose everything.
Yes.
I do not only consider myself. Children are very important to me, because I also received comments like, "Yes, you should have gone to the government. You should know how I have gone through a great deal with the government. The government does not serve us at all." And what was I supposed to say? They invited me? For what? Where is the evidence? Who would believe me at once, while others do not believe me?
There are no comments now, it ended up everywhere. Also with the authorities.
It is rather serious, because the things I am talking about are from long ago. But if I see what is going on, well, I do not want to say on a daily basis, but still very often is in the news. What is going on with little children? It is not all about child sacrifices or child abuse, donor trade, organ trafficking. It is about so much more. 17,000 children are only dying of hunger and thirst every day. Are we all made out of concrete? What is wrong with this world? I am very concerned from the heart. That is my inner driver, and that is what is going to happen. Because I notice, and that is the beautiful part, that more and more people are standing up. And they understand more and more. We are the change. My wife asked me, if you really want